All right, so let me set the stage here. We just wrapped up a pretty major international AI summit in Paris.
Yeah.
And the big news is we're seeing some serious division in the global approach to AI. We've got like 60 countries, France, China, India, all on board with this declaration promoting ethical AI development. But then you've got some heavy hitters like the US and UK kind of sitting this one out. So
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
it really is.
Like, why the split, right? Why are we seeing such different approaches to AI regulation? And what does all this mean, like, for the future of this tech? I think that's the big...
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we're diving into today. So buckle up.
It's fascinating stuff. I mean, you've got all these different players with their own agendas. You've got the U.S. with Vance. He's pretty much all about...
Right.
Yeah, he's all about that pro-growth approach.
Which basically means keep regulation light and let the innovation
Rip.
Exactly. Then you've got Macron over in France sounding the alarm saying we need international rules.
Guardrails to keep AI development in check. And of course...
And then Chuck Musk into the mix.
Yeah, like things weren't interesting enough, right? We've got him potentially buying OpenAI.
Like a cool $1 billion or something.
It's wild.
Talk about shaking things up.
Big time. So let's unpack all of this, starting with that declaration. 60 countries sign on the dotted line. Sounds impressive.
Right.
But, like, what are they actually agreeing to? Open, inclusive, ethical AI. Okay.
Yeah, those are
nice buzzwords.
Yeah, they're great buzzwords, sure. But what's the substance?
Right, what's the beef?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what's the actual meat of this declaration?
Well, so it dives into specifics like, they want to see transparency in AI development.
Yeah.
They talk about safety, reliability.
Making sure this benefits, like, humanity as a whole, not just...
Right, not just a
Right,
select few.
yeah.
Exactly. It's about ensuring AI benefits the entire planet, not just the...
Yeah, not just the ones who are developing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's this whole thing about resilience. It's kind of like, imagine a self-driving car encounters a situation it's not programmed for.
Oh.
You don't want it just like freezing up in the middle of the road, right?
That's
So basically they're saying, hey, we got to build AI that can adapt, that can roll with the punches.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. It can handle whatever curveballs get thrown its way.
Exactly.
So you have this big push for, kind of like a global set of ethics for AI. But then the UK is like, yeah, no thanks. They say they can't agree with everything and
Right.
kind of prioritize their own interests.
It makes you wonder, what's the real hang-up here?
Is it really just like a little wording issue? Or is there something deeper going on
Yeah, I think it definitely hints at that tension,
between?
between global cooperation and those national interests.
Absolutely.
Like, maybe they're worried some parts of this declaration are too restrictive, could hinder their AI development, make them less competitive.
Right, because
It's a big deal.
economically, this is a big deal. Everyone's looking at AI as the next big splash. Yeah.
Totally. And no one wants to be left behind. So, speaking of not wanting to be left behind, the U.S. also takes a pass on this declaration. And Vance makes it pretty clear.
He does not mince words.
He does not. He straight up says too much regulation could kill innovation.
And hurt economic growth.
Which, that's his whole thing.
His bread and butter.
Yeah. He's all about fostering that growth. I think he even said something like, the Trump administration won't squander this AI opportunity. Pretty bold statement.
Yeah, it is. And it really highlights the U.S.'s, their stance on this whole thing.
Right. It's like, do you prioritize rapid development or do you pump the brakes a bit to make sure everything's developing ethically?
100%. It's a tricky balancing act. And you've got, like, Macron in France basically arguing the opposite.
Totally. He's like, hold up, we need some rules here. Yeah. He's been super vocal about the need for some kind of international guidelines for AI development. He's basically saying, look, without these guardrails, things could go off the rails.
Right. You could end up with these super powerful AI systems with
unforeseen consequences.
Yeah, unintended, like, disastrous consequences. And that's a whole other can of worms, right?
Right. Who knows what could happen?
Exactly. So it's Vance on one side, all about keeping things open for growth, Macron on the other, saying, hey, we need some rules, some safeguards, and then enter Elon Musk.
He's like the wild card, right?
He's the ultimate wild card.
Yeah.
This rumor about him buying OpenAI, what a power move.
Oh, yeah, it'd be huge. And, he's always been super vocal about
AI safety.
AI safety, yeah. I mean, he's even he's gone so far as to say that unchecked AI could pose a serious threat. So if he takes the reins at OpenAI, that could seriously shift the whole landscape.
Yeah, and it just shows you how much influence a single person can have on this global stage.
Especially when you're talking about game-changing technology like this.
Totally. So let's bring this back to our listener for a sec. What does all this mean for you? Well, the world is having this huge debate about AI. And it's not just governments, it's individuals, it's companies.
Everyone's got a stake in this.
Everyone. And there's no easy answer here.
Yeah, it's not like there's a right and a wrong answer.
Absolutely not.
We're all kind of figuring this out together in real time. It's this big, complex puzzle.
So where do you even begin to unravel this?
Well, you start by recognizing that this isn't just a tech debate.
Right.
It's a debate about our values, about ethics.
Like, what kind of future do we actually want to build with AI?
Exactly. And the decisions being made right now, they're going to have massive ripple effects. They're going to shape how this technology is developed, how it's used. It's kind of...
It's daunting, right?
Yeah, it's a little daunting when you think about it.
Absolutely. So this deep dive, it's been a whirlwind tour of this, like, global AI landscape.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've really just scratched the surface here. But hopefully it's left you with a lot to ponder. Like, considering all the potential of AI, both the good and the bad, what approach to regulation actually makes the most sense?
Yeah, is it all about maximizing growth? Or we need to prioritize those ethical considerations? Maybe there's a middle ground.
Right. And who gets to decide all of this? So many questions.
So many questions.
But this conversation, it's only just beginning.
It's evolving every day.
Absolutely. So keep exploring this. Keep asking those tough questions. Because the future of AI, it's being written right now.
As we speak.
As we speak. And we all have a role to play.